Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about a tired puppy is a good puppy. Now, the reason I want to do this is because I think some of you look at my videos where my dogs are always relaxed and calm, and you think, well, yeah, it's nice and simple for you. Look how relaxed your dogs are. Your dogs just sleep and they're all relaxed and well behaved. And yeah, they are all relaxed and well behaved. You can see I've got 3 of them there. I've got Albert, little Harry in the middle under his blanket, and then we've got Humps on his bed licking his paw, I think. But let's just not mess around. The only reason my dogs behave like this is because I put the work in to make sure that they're tired. So if we go a little bit closer and see Albert, I can't emphasise that enough. The amount of times I hear of people like despairing because their puppy's misbehaving and yet they haven't walked him. They haven't trained him. They haven't played with him. You've got to do these things to get your dog tired, because if you don't, they are going to misbehave. I want to paint you a picture. So as you see here, we've got 3 really tired dogs. So Albert here with his dirty little face from his walk, fast asleep, conked out. So it's now 9:45 in the morning. I walk them from 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock in the morning, and they will now sleep all the way through till lunchtime. And then they just sort of come with me while I have my lunch or whatever. And then they go back to sleep until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock is training. And they're conked out then until my husband gets in from work. And then it's this evening and it's their dinner time and all of that happens and the whole evening happens and all of that. And then they're conked out again to go to bed. But I want to tell you what it would be like if I didn't do that. So Albert here, he has autism. And so if I didn't walk him and train him and get him to be tired, he would be really agitated. His autism would get very, very agitated, and that sort of would create spinning and all of those kinds of behaviours. Harry over here in his blanket, if I didn't walk, he's very, very energetic. And so Albert here that you just see, he's 9. But Harry here, let's cover him up. He's a little bit damp. It rained on our walk this morning. Let's just cover him up. He is very energetic. He's 6 years old now, but he's absolutely full of energy and is obsessed with playing and toys. If I didn't walk him and train him and play with him, he would just be constantly bringing me toys, asking me to play. He would get very agitated, and also he's got beagle in him, and so he would be very, very barky. So he'd be running around house barking, just wanting to play all the time. And then if we look here over at Humps, he's my rescue dog from Korea. I've only had him 3 months, nearly 4 months now, having a wash. He has a tendency to be aggressive because he's nervous from his past, but we're working on that. There's lots of walking going on. There's lots of training. I'm actually training him. I've designed a course for him to train him to be an assistance dog for me. Now, I'm not disabled. I'm able-bodied, but I'm training him to be an assistance dog for me because he needs a job, and that's what I'm doing with him. But that's a whole different set of videos. But so can you just see? So I'd have Albert spinning around on his bum, being all agitated. Harry would be barking and wanting to play and running around and causing problems with toys, and Humps would be aggressive. So there'd probably be a fight happening as well. That's what my reality would be if I didn't put the work in. So this is what I would suggest you do. If you do this with your puppy every day, you can't really go wrong. So first thing in the morning, feed them. I feed my dogs first thing in the morning. Then you have to wait an hour. It's vitally important that you feed your dog and then you wait at least a minimum of an hour, because you can get bloat. If you don't know about bloat, please, 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 will you go and watch the video on it? It's in the health playlist. It's honestly really important that you watch it. It's really important that you have a gap between. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put that bloat video up at the end of this video. It's really important that you have a gap of an hour between feeding your dog and taking your dog out for a walk. So I get up at 6, I feed my dogs, and then I get myself ready, showered, sorted for my day, and then at 7 o'clock we go out for a walk. And make sure your puppy is getting a good hour. Now, this is really important. With a puppy, you do not want to walk them for an hour because you could damage their legs, especially if they're tiny. Or if you've got an older dog, an hour might be too much. So what I do for my dogs is we walk about 40 minutes, and 20 minutes of that is just hanging about, watching the world go by. So if you've got a puppy, don't be doing an hour's exercise. It's way too much. But get your dog outside for an hour. So maybe you'll carry them for a bit. Maybe you'll just sit somewhere and watch the world go by, say hello to some people. But be out of the house. So they've got that stimulation for an hour. Then come home, and that is your time for your dog to relax. And this is another reason why routine is so important, because it will teach your dog what's coming next, what they should expect next, and that will get their brain used to what's coming next and how to behave and what should be happening. And that's really important, having a stretch there. And then do something with them at lunchtime. So maybe have a play with them, or just let them have a run around in the garden, something like that. And then in the afternoon, do some training with them. And this is really important. And I'm going to do it. At the moment, I haven't put the videos up, but the videos will be going up of training to do with your puppy. Do the training with your puppy, and training will wear a dog out much faster than any exercise. Any age dog will be worn out a lot quicker by training than they will exercise. Do training, and the dog will be conked out, and that will give you another few hours of peace. So if you did need to pop out to do something and leave the dog on his own, you could then do it, because that's the time when he's going to be tired and much less risk of any problems happening when you're out. And then so then you've got your afternoon, and then an evening meal. Again, make sure there's fed, and then there's a good. So I feed my dogs at 4 o'clock. Now I don't put an evening walk in with my dogs, because I like the sort of come down of the day. So you have your dinner, and then you settle down. So I brush their teeth and do all that kind of stuff after dinner, and that kind of in itself is an activity for them, and at times a training situation for them, and then they settle down for the evening. But if you've got a puppy, I think it is probably a good idea to take them out for a walk in the evening, because then you just well and truly get rid of any extra energy. But you need to make sure that what's happening is, this is another reason I don't walk dogs in the evening, is because what can happen is the dogs can be getting excited about that walk, and that can mean that actually they're just building the excitement back up. So rather than sort of running themselves down, getting ready to have a nice relaxing evening and then settling down into bed, they're getting themselves excited for the walk. So you kind of have to take your judgment on that. Do you think that your puppy's getting excited for the walk, and kind of isn't coming down from it? It's worth playing around with. Are they better? And the other thing you can do is with puppies is, it might be that to relax them in the evenings, maybe you just sit with them and you give them a nice massage, nice stroking session, and you teach them that that's a really nice thing to do, just to settle down and be nice, relaxed, and that's a really nice, calm thing to do. You'd have to kind of play around with that. But if you're not walking your dog in the evening, do it and see, are they then a lot more relaxed afterwards? But there's no doubt about it, a tired dog is a better behaved dog. No question about it. And please don't ever think, just because you see this little setup here, oh yeah, it's all right for you, it's all calm. No, it's all calm because I put all of that work in. There's no question about that. Terrible things would be happening amongst these three if they weren't so tired. So that's it for today. As always, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. It's all under Furry and Sport. You can message me whenever you want. Pop anything into comments. You know where I am if you need me. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.